Hey Sunrock, let's do a little bit of an improvement video. So on the K970 Husqvarnas, if they're not running right, or they're not idling right, or they're having a hard time starting, there's a couple things. First thing you can do is take your scrunch right off. Most of the chop saws have a spot for it right here. I'm gonna pull this off, and then there's 4 hex head screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're gonna use the scrunch to take those off. After you loosen those screws, this lid, this cover, pops right off the top, just comes straight up. Underneath you'll find your spark plug and your air filter. One of the main causes for these chop saws to not be running right is the air filter could be plugged. So if you loosen this, the air filter will pop right off the top. Look down. This one, I cleaned it recently, but pull this air filter off, and then carefully you can take an air compressor and a nozzle, blow this out, dump it out, whatever you need to do, just so that it's clean and there's no dust visible or coming off of it. After you pull the air filter off, you can also pull your spark plug wire off. This just pops off the top, and then use your scrunch. Use the big side, it fits on top of your spark plug, and we'll actually pull the spark plug out. You want to make sure that there's a gap. You see that little gap right there for the ignition? That's where the spark is generated. You want to make sure there's a gap there, and that this isn't fouled up or gummed up. There's not a lot of oil on it or anything like that. With these 2 strokes, these get gummed up really easily if you're mixing the fuel to oil ratio a little bit heavy. So after checking your spark plug, you're going to put it back on with the scrunch. It doesn't need to be too tight. You just want to go finger tight, and then maybe a quarter turn with this, if that. Make sure you plug this down. When this seats, it's going to click. You want it to seat all the way. Make sure you put your air filter back on and tighten this all the way down. There should be very minimal play on your air filter. It's important for a healthy engine to have that air. Reverse order, we're going to go ahead and put our cover back on while tightening all 4 of these screws. Doing those 2 simple steps, cleaning the spark plug and the air filter, should help the saw run tremendously better. Another resource I'd like to share with you is the troubleshooting guide for the K970s. If you Google this, the guide will pop up. It lists all the most common problems and issues with these chop saws, how to diagnose them, and then what the appropriate fixes are for those issues.